Well, I'll tell you what I think.
Okay, if you'll please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit in and for Seminole County, Florida, State of Florida versus George Zimmerman. Verdict: we the jury find George Zimmerman not guilty. So say we all four-person.
Does either side want to poll the jury?
We would, Your Honor.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as your juror number is being called, please answer whether this is your verdict.
Juror B29, is this your verdict? Yes. Juror B76, is this your verdict? Yes. Juror B37, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror B51, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror E6, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror E40, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you.
Times like these, I just want to be held. I stand close to you.
We are the Black Youth Project Beyond November movement. We see the hopelessness of a generation that has been broken trying to find its place in this world.
As we waited to hear the verdict in the spirit of unity, we formed a circle and locked hands. When we heard not guilty, our hearts broke collectively. In that moment, it was clear that Black life had no value.
The headline on the Huffington Post read, "George Zimmerman, not guilty, but not innocent," and I couldn't agree more with that. The facts remain that George Zimmerman still disobeyed police orders, he still followed and killed an unarmed 17-year-old boy, and even if they couldn't prove him guilty of first or second-degree murder, insufficient evidence doesn't equal innocence just as much as it doesn't equal guilt. Who was really standing their ground that night?
Your skin color does not make you a suspect. Nor does your age, nor does a hoodie. George Zimmerman killed a 17-year-old kid because he profiled and stereotyped him. And let's not forget, none of this happened if George Zimmerman merely stays in his car. And by the way, how does a guy who's arrested for domestic violence and assaulting a police officer have access and a right to own a gun?
We affirm a love of all Black life, no matter if we are in hoodies or business suits.
The guy with the gun was reasonably in fear for his life. The guy that followed the kid and had a gun was reasonably in fear for his life. The guy with the gun feared for his life.
Times like these, I just want to be held. I stand close.
To everybody that put their hoodies up, and to everybody who said, "I am Trayvon," his family expressed their heartfelt gratitude for helping them these past 17 months.
Train our police officers in hand-to-hand combat for a reason. In case they're overpowered, they know how to handle the situation. We train them to use non-lethal forms of containment like pepper spray and tasers so that situations like this don't happen. George Zimmerman took the law in his own hands, and when he did that, he committed negligence, and everything that happened after is completely his fault. That death was his fault. I am outraged with this verdict.
Days of old are close to heart, I don't want them to die. So hold my weary head and let me cry.
I don't know what to tell you. Don't boycott Florida. Don't blame the many for the sins of the few. Boycott Sanford. Go after Angela Corey. Get rid of Rick Scott, for God's sake. We can do better, and it's cliche, but oh my God. That's all I got. Thanks.
George Zimmerman, not guilty of the murder of Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old boy walking home in the rain with a bottle of iced tea and a bag of candy. Zimmerman decided that he was a menace and needed to be put down. Stand your ground laws need to go. They're a license to kill anyone for any reason.
No justice for Trayvon.
We must turn our attention to exposing ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council. Cure the coke infestation of the legislative process. End their reign. Vote ALEC members out of office. See which state legislators are members of ALEC at alecexposed.org.
In spite of what was said in court, what verdict has been reached, or how hopeless we feel, Trayvon did not die in vain. A mother should never have to bury her son. However, his death will serve as a catalyst of a new movement where the struggle for justice will prevail.
Let me cry. Times like these, I just want to.
Just in case you think that racism is dead in America, I want to read to you something I heard last night. In the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit in and for Seminole County, Florida. State of Florida versus George Zimmerman. Verdict: we the jury find George Zimmerman not guilty. So say we all, foreperson. So said them all.
I think the prosecution of George Zimmerman was disgraceful. I am gratified by the jury's verdict, as happy as I am for George Zimmerman. I'm thrilled that this jury kept this tragedy from becoming a travesty.
Times like these, I just want to be held. I stand.
Apparently in Florida, you can be convicted of manslaughter if you kill somebody with your car, but not with a gun. Unless, of course, you're a black woman standing your ground and shooting warning shots. Then you can be convicted of attempted murder.
What we know is that the stand your ground law, the question was asked earlier, what if George Zimmerman had been black? Well, we sort of know that answer, right? Because Marissa Alexander, an African-American woman in Florida who shot a ceiling, to be very clear, she shot a warning shot into the ceiling when her admittedly abusive husband, who had physically abused her on multiple occasions and was threatening her at that moment, as he was walking toward her, she shot into the ceiling and she got 20 years in jail in Florida, 20 years for shooting a ceiling. George Zimmerman is free tonight, and we know without any doubt that he shot and killed Trayvon Martin. So I think we know the answer to what would happen had George Zimmerman been African American.
Trayvon Martin saw was the man who got away with his murder. It's heartbreaking to imagine that a jury would decide that that was all right.
Justice for Trayvon.
Giving in and giving up is not the way to be. Seeing eye to eye, you see clearly.
That's pretty much it.
Seeing eye to eye, you see clearly.